Good morning, my beautiful ladies. Welcome to our Friday workout. This is going to be the best way to start your weekend. We got our weights today, we got our band, the mat, and the chair or the bench if available. So ladies, it's going to be super fun, and I hope you're excited, and I hope you were very sore after the last workout, because I was. Now today, we're going to do focus on the core and the legs a little bit. So what we'll start with is your very favorite exercise, which is the leg lift, with something else. We're going to warm up the shoulder and we're going to warm up the legs, okay? So the idea is to keep the core super tight, abs are in. The leg will come up. We're going to keep your leg flexed. So your foot is flexed, you're squeezing the top of the leg. You can put a 3-pound weight or a 5-pound, either one is good.
Please proceed.
Now for the arm, you are going to use like a 3-pounder, plenty. Especially if you have a sensitive shoulder, you want to make sure you go kind of light. Maybe like a 1 pound, 2, or maybe even no weight. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep the hips nice and aligned, the leg stays up. The arm will go out, the thumb is up. You're going to move it to the side a little bit, bring it back, go down. Now again, this is if you have a sensitive shoulder. If your shoulder's good and you have no neck issues, you're going to keep the arm up and you're going to bring it to the side and you're going to bring it back, okay? So the modification is to keep the leg up, squeezing the abs, and then going down, coming up, going out to the side, bring it back, go down. Okay, so that's the modification. To make it harder, we're going to go side to side. Perfect. Now let's talk about the shoulders. Make sure the shoulders are down, chest stays open. Make sure your body stays nice and tall. Almost imagine that you have a wall behind you. Okay, so there's a wall behind you that does not allow you to lean back, okay? Your shoulders are down, we're going side to side, we're squeezing the top of the quad there. Good, chest stays open and breathing, okay? Always breathing. Very good. Abs are engaged. Nice. Shoulders are down. We're just going side to side with the arm. Good. Now make sure that thumb stays up. See how I'm keeping my thumb up to keep my shoulder safe. Sometimes when we change the position, which we don't want right now, we can tweak that shoulder. Now, if you need a little break for the shoulder, you should actually really feel the shoulder by now. If you're just staying up, good. Keep going. Squeezing the abs. Chest stays open. Very good. Now let's change the position of your foot. Let's move the leg to the side, so we're getting the inner thighs at the same time, and then change it to a little circles for the arm. Now this is the more challenging way of working the body. If you want to make it easier, you're going down with the arm and then you come up. You go down with the arm and come up. Right now I'm burning. How about you? Woo! Keep going. Just make sure it's not in your neck, okay? And not in your back. If you need a little break for the back, you lower your leg a little bit, okay? Or you lower the arm a little bit if you need a little break for the arm. Keep going. Woo! I know you got it in you, but now you're burning. Oh my goodness, that was a good one. So again, when you keep your thumb up with everything you're doing, let's say you're reaching up for the closet, you're reaching for something, your shoulder's very safe. Once you're turning your palms down, that's a little bit more challenging on the shoulder.
Begin set 3.
Okay, so number 1, we keep that leg up. Now, if you want a modification, you go up, you go out to the side, you bring it back, you go down. If you have a sensitive shoulder and you don't want to do this at all, you can just keep your hand next to the body and do little bicep curls, okay? That's a good modification too. Now, after this, we're going to do regular planks, because I know you know they're coming. And your shoulders are going to be so warmed up today, ladies, after all this awesome work we're doing. Now, when you're doing your plank, you're going to be on your forearms, okay? Squeezing your tissues super tight. And again, I'm going to start on the bench. As we keep going, I'm going to make it harder by going on the floor, okay? Now, number 2 sets, let's open up that inner thigh. Let's point your toes out and then little circles. Again, this is only if your shoulder and your neck feels good. 3 pounds are the most I would go on this. Anything heavier than that can actually hurt your shoulder. Shoulders, some of the shoulder exercises we have to be very careful on because the heavy weight can tweak it. Okay, so what we'll do for our planks, ladies, if you have a sensitive back and neck and shoulders, you're going to just hold that plank, okay? I know you love your planks. I will always have you do a couple different variations. They're one of the best things for you, okay? And they're going to keep your heart rate up and they're going to get your whole body going. So I'm going to start on the bench for our plank. Again, elbow directly underneath your shoulder. If you're doing it on straight arms, make sure your hand is directly underneath the shoulder.
Stop exercise.
There we go, ladies. Oh my goodness, we warmed everything up. I felt it. Okay, so ladies, again, if you can do forearms, you can do straight arms like this, squeezing your tushy super, super tight. The modification is going to be to go out, out, in, squeeze your tushy. This is only if you have a good back, okay? So I'm going to show it to you actually on the forearms because my ears sometimes get sensitive. So I go out, out, in, squeeze in the tissue. Okay, so this is the modification for the exercise. Now if you have a good back, good neck, good shoulders, and you want to make it harder, you do a little hop, open, hop close, squeeze your tissue. Don't hop really wide, just a very tiny one to the side. And then squeeze your tissue again. Woo. Out, squeeze the tissue again. Good. Out. Squeeze the tissue. And if it's too much for your back or your knees, you just walk it out, walk it back in. Out, in, squeeze the tissue. If this is too easy, keep going. Good, I'm going to just take a quick break from my shoulders. The shoulders are already tired from the warm-up, which is a good thing. I love it. Okay, so we're going to do it again. So we got the elbow directly underneath the shoulder or the straight arms, whichever feels challenging. Now, if this is too easy, ladies, you go on the floor, which I'm going to do for the last 2 sets. Good. Squeeze in the abs. When we move with both legs at the same time, I prefer to take those little breaks because if we go through the breaks with a movement in the plank, you might hurt your back, okay? Squeeze that tissue super tight. Keep going. Abs are engaged. Shoulders are down. Chest is open. Knees are soft. That's the key too. Make sure the hips are not bouncing too much. Take your break, girls. Awesome. Good work. So I'm going to move it to the floor now. And I'm going to actually keep my band close to me because after this we're going to do a band exercise. And again, so I'm starting with straight arms, but sometimes it might be too much for your wrists, so you can either go on your forearms.
Begin set.
Now, if you're doing this on the floor and it's too much for your back, don't do the movement. Okay, just hold the position. Squeeze your tushy on the way in. Out, just not too far out. Because when we go out too far, we might twinge that back. Squeeze your tushy super tight. Good job. Squeeze it super tight again. Keep going. Woo! Come on, seconds left. I know you got it in there. Keep breathing. Come on. Seconds left. Hold it now. Squeeze that tushy. Good job. Woo. Just make sure that back is not twinging, okay? If you start feeling that back, again, just hold it plank, okay? So now I'm going to go on my forearms. I'm going to see how this feels on my back. If it starts bothering my back, I'm going to actually walk it out and walk it in instead of
Begin set 4.
So I'm going to start with a block. Out, out, in. This feels okay. So now I'm going to make it a little bit more challenging. But again, you want to make sure it's not too much for your back. Maybe do 2 and 2. So 2 walking in and out, and then 2 jumps. Woo. Squeeze that tissue. Good. Walk it in. Squeeze the tissue. Walk it out. After this, we're going to go on your side with a band. Squeeze it. Now hold it, ladies. Just hold it. Squeeze the tissue super tight. Feel the abs work.
Strong exercise and switch to the next.
Oh man, those planks are the best. Nothing better than the plank. Okay, so ladies, we're going to put the band on over the top of the thighs right now, okay? So we're going to keep the band on for a couple exercises. I'm actually going to go down, I'm going to put my top hand on top of the mat, okay? I'm going to bend the bottom knee. I'm pushing my bottom hand, the one that's on the floor, into here, squeezing my abs. Then I move my leg forward. I do 5 pulses. See how my toes are pointing down? Then I pound back up. I don't lower the leg, it stays up. And then I do 5 pulses. Perfect. Good. And then make sure you're not going all the way back. Make sure you're stuck right when that heel is aligned with the body, okay? Once we go back, we can actually arch your low back and we can put a little pressure on it. Now, if you feel this effort in your low back, what you do is you switch it to the clamshell, which is this guy right here. Open and close, okay? If you're worried about your knees or your back, we can always modify it. Very good. Squeeze in the abs.
Set 2.
Bring it forward. Normally, the side leggings are really good for the body. What they do is they work on your balance, right, and stability. And we're also working on your hips, which is very important for knee strength and your hip strength as well. Good. Keeping the core super tight, see my toes are pointing down. Once I open up my foot, it's not as challenging, so make sure your toes are pointing down. Good, and then keep going, squeezing the abs. Good, I'm pushing that my hand down into the floor, I'm breathing.
Stop,
Good.
exercise.
Next, now I'm going to switch sides. That was very well done, by the way. I hope everybody felt that burn. So again, you can either go all the way down or you can stay up like this, whatever feels good on your shoulder. Your body's in a straight line. And again, there's so many different variations. We go forward, and always this side is always harder. Bring it back. Oh, I'm already burning. Good job. Very good. Nice. And then forward. Woo. Good going. Good going. Nice. Squeezing the abs super, super tight right now. 5 pulses. Bring it forward again. When we bring it forward, we're actually activating the quads a little bit more. And your hip flexors, okay? When we go back to here, you feel that glute a little bit more, and you feel your whole side and your core working as well.
Exercise.
Beautiful. Keep going, ladies. And again, modification would be to do a little climb shot. Good. Now we're making it harder because you're keeping the tension in the body the whole time. See how my leg stays up the whole entire time?
Begin set.
I'm not going up and down, which makes it so much more challenging. So when we finish with this, ladies, we're going to do some ab work coming your way. So what we'll do, we're going to keep the band right where it's at. No, actually, let's move the band over the ankles. That might be more fun. Keep going. Now, if you have a sensitive back, you're just going to do a crunch, and you're going to hold a crunch with your feet down. If you want to make it harder, you're going to lift your legs up just like I do it. If you have a sensitive neck, you could do either, you could do the movement with the legs that I'm doing.
Exercise and switch to the next station.
Without crunching, okay? And I'll show you a couple modifications. So, modification number 1 for a sensitive back, I would just do little pulsing crunches. Modification for the neck, I would grab onto the legs, bring the knees in, kick them out, open. Knees in, kick it open, okay? And then to really make it challenging, I would hold a crunch, okay? So the knees would come to me. I would extend the legs out and then do 5 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And your hips are already tired, so that makes it even more challenging. And then you go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You bring the knees in. You kick it out. You keep your back flat. Now this is when you're crunching, right? Now if your head sits down, grab onto your legs. Do the same thing. Knee comes in, leg goes out, and then pulses. This is for whoever's got a sensitive neck, okay? Now, if you feel this is all too much for your back, you bring your feet down and you do little pulsing crunches, okay? The crunches are so challenging and so amazing for the body, ladies.
Begin
Good
set 2.
Now, see how my toes are pointing in, my heels are pointing out. In, kick it out. Good job. After this, we're going to take a little break and a little stretch. It's coming your way. By now, your glutes should be burning big time. So what we're doing when we're bringing the knees in and we kick them out, we kind of give your back a little break, okay? And then you get to work the low abs a little bit more. Exhale through the mouth as you come in. Good. Keep going. I know you're smiling right now thinking, oh, Evie, we are loving this. This is what we've been waiting for all week. Take a quick break just for your back. Nice, relax in the shoulders. If you ever want to make this harder and you don't want to bring your knees in, you could just keep them out and do little circles, and I'll show you in a second, little circles with the legs out, okay? So that will put a little bit more tension on those glutes, like this, and you're just doing little circles, if you want to make this harder. Yeah, if you ever feel like the exercise is too easy, guess what? Guess what I'll do? I promise I will make it harder. Good job, ladies. Squeezing the abs super, super tight. Then after this, we're going to do a plank, a plank and a push-up. My goodness. We're doing lots of planks today, ladies. Keep breathing, squeezing the abs super tight. Good. The straighter the legs, the harder it gets. The second, I'm going to take a little break for my back. Woo, just a quick one. And again, if your back gets tight, you can bring that knee in, kick it out, do a couple, 5 of them, and bring it back in again. Always make sure that back doesn't come off, okay? Now when we finish with this, we're gonna go on your knees for push-ups. If you can't do push-ups, if you worry about your shoulders today, ladies, do wall sits instead, okay? So for the next exercise, I don't have a wall actually available right now, but you can do a wall sit if you can do push-ups, okay? Let's say you worry about your wrists, your shoulders, and you're like, Evie, not today, today is not a good day, I tweaked my shoulder, do a wall sit, okay? Knees aligned with the ankles on the wall sit, and hold it through the whole entire 4 sets. Now I will go on my knees, and I'm gonna combine push-up with a plank. Ooh, super fun. Lots of planks today, ladies.
Stop
Nice. Take a break, very good. So I am gonna actually put my band over my feet, but you don't have to do that. You could try it without it. And I'm gonna go on, actually no, I'll get rid of it because it might come off. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go on my knees. I'm gonna do 5 push-ups and 5 mountain climbers, okay? And I'll show you in a second. So
begin set.
You're going a little bit wider than shoulder width. This is only if you have good shoulders. And I'm gonna go for 5 push-ups. My elbows are not pointing out. They're kind of staying in. You can always do that stretch if you worry about your back, ladies. You can do that little push-up. Good, and then do the stretch. And then go back to the push-up. Squeeze in the abs. Good, and then do the stretch. I'm showing you the modification, then we're gonna make it harder. Push-up, and then stretch. If you wanna make this harder, after 5 push-ups, you need to foul mountain climbers. Squeeze in that tissue. Squeeze your tissue. Good, squeeze. Let's do one more, and one more. Good, and let's go back to the knees, back to the push-ups. Good, go down, come up, back in. Again, relax your shoulders. Make sure you're not feeling pressure in your shoulder, okay? And then also make sure you're a little wider than your shoulder width, and your hands are on the level of the shoulder. So they're never too far forward, okay? Beautiful. I know your wrists are going to get tired very soon, so we might do a little modification, or maybe a little stretch there. Good. Now we're going to go here. 5 mountain climbers. Good. Beautiful. And then back to push-ups. Good. What I like about mountain climbers and push-ups combination is we're almost giving that back a little break. Let's do one more. Nice. And take a break. Let's give your wrists a little break because I know the wrists might get tired. So now let's go into the child's pose for a second, just for 1 set, and then we're going to go back to the push-ups. So we're like this.
Begin set.
We're going to bring one arm forward and one arm back, and we're just going to stretch for a second. We're going to hold this for about 15 seconds, and then we're going to switch sides. I'm throwing that stretch here. Good. And now switch sides. Thumbs are up. That hand goes behind you. We're stretching our back right now on our wrists a little bit, because then we're going to go back to those push-ups. If your wrists get too tired, ladies, make sure you switch into that wall sit, okay? Or something else, in that exercise. Whatever you do, just give your wrists a nice little break. We're almost there. Relax the shoulders. Very good. And we're back to push-ups again. So again, squeeze the abs. You can also do push-ups on your knuckles. Those are good too if your wrists get really, really tired. That's a good option. Not everybody likes it, so see how you feel. Make sure tissue's not going all the way up. You're in the plank position when you do those push-ups.
Begin set.
Good, we're almost there. Nice and slow going down. Make sure there's no twinging in the shoulder. Do that little stretch. That will give your wrist a little break as well. So 5 of these and then 5 mountain climbers. Now when we finish with this, ladies, oh man, some more fun things are coming your way. How about another ab exercise? Just to change it up a little bit, give your wrist a little break. Now let's go up. Mountain climbers. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze that tushy. 4. Squeeze that tushy. 5. Squeeze that tushy. And go back to push-ups. Woo!
Stop.
Good. Let's one more.
To the next station.
Nice. Take a break, ladies. That was awesome. So now, let's focus on the core a little bit more. Now, if you have a sensitive back, you just bring this leg, cross it over, and then do little tiny pulses, okay? If your neck is sensitive, you could do what I'm doing with your legs up, okay, like this, and just hold it like that, trying to use your core muscles. I'm gonna add the crunch to this, and see how I have this leg resting here? Now this is only if your back feels good. Again, if the back is sensitive, one leg crossed over the other, little pulses. If your neck is sensitive, you just lift the legs, you squeeze the abs, and you try to use your core muscles to keep the legs up, okay? Or you can help yourself with the legs, with the arms next to the body. But I'm gonna make this like this. So my leg is resting. I'm gonna extend my leg out to the side and bring it back. I'm gonna extend it,
Stop,
bring it
exercise.
back. Good, extend, bring it back. And again, this is a great exercise for anybody whose back feels good today, okay? Beautiful. Good job. Cross it over. Then I'm putting that extra weight into the leg and to my low abs. And then out, bring it in. Ladies, we're having fun today, aren't we? I know you're smiling, I know you miss me. I can't see you right now, but I know you're working hard, and I'm very proud of you for joining me. Good. There could be a lot of different excuses why we can't do this, right? But I know that today, you're doing it. There's no excuses. I'm very proud of you. Whew. Keep going. Press it over, make sure that knee feels good. Extend your hip flexors will feel it. Bring it back.
Stop, exercise.
Take a break for the back, just a little one, little pelvic tilts. Good, I'm gonna change it up and make it a little bit more fun for you now. So once that leg is crossed over, you can move that leg up and down, okay? That straight leg, or just stick to your modifications. Do little pulse crunches.
Begin set 3.
You can even do this and do little crunches like a stretch and a crunch together. So either one is good. Nice, so now, again, my back is as flat as possible, and I'm moving that leg up and down like this. But when you go down, don't go too low. When you go too low, your back will come off, and then you might feel your back there. Good, chin is high, chest is open. Good, so stretch, it works your hips, works your legs, it works the core. Try to bring yourself up as high as you can without pulling on your neck. Your elbows go out, your chin is high, and you are breathing.
Stop,
Always breathing.
exercise.
Nice, let's take a quick break from the back. We adjust it, unless you don't need a break, then keep going. Then after this, we're gonna do our bridges, ladies, with a very narrow press stick. So you're gonna connect the weights together. I don't think we've ever done that one, actually. Now we're gonna switch legs, chin is high.
Begin set 4.
A little one's up and down. Good. Make that low back, and again, the low back's gonna wanna come off. If it does, you can bend the knee and then do the crunch with a stretch, or you just extend it out. Either way, or you just bring your foot all the way down. Always have a modification for you ladies, do not worry. You always really focus on the core. Keep your back as flat as you can, shoulders are down, chin is high, elbows pull out. We never let them come in, unless you have a sensitive shoulder, then maybe you can tuck them in a little bit. Almost there. After this, we're gonna grab 2 weights. If you have good shoulders, you could go heavy, like a 7 or a 10. If your shoulders are sensitive, go like a 3 or a 5. I got the 5s available, ladies. So what we're gonna do, modification. So modification is to keep your hips down and to keep the weights together and tuck your elbows in and then let them go down just to the chest without letting your elbows go out, okay? Imagine there's a wall on each side of your body. And then you go down to the chest, but without elbows flaring out, okay? So you go, now this is the modification. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, you bring yourself up into that bridge. So normally we do the presses with the weights separated, okay? This is a little different. Really get your chest. In, out. Don't go all the way down with the elbows. Good, keep them tucked in. Squeeze your tissues super tight. Again, this is just if your back feels good today.
Stop.
If it doesn't, you keep both hips down. Good. Exhale, squeeze. If that's too easy if you have the hips down, you can always maybe even extend a leg out and then do presses. We could always make it more fun. Now, I'm going to make it more fun by adding an extra challenge to the bridge leg. So we're going to go up into that one leg now. The elbows are really close together. Good. My hips are nice and aligned. Good. I'm doing that one leg because my back feels good today. If you ever worry about the back, don't do one leg. If your back twinges, unless you want to do it for a second and then go down, keep going. I know you're having fun. If you have any pressure in your shoulder from this, you just go up and you either keep them together or separate them and hold it, okay? We always have that modification for you. Keep going, my ladies. And then you got this in here.
Exercise.
Woo, let's switch legs. Unless you don't want to, you can go a little longer on that same side. Beautiful. Then our side legs are coming. Whoa. Lots of plays today. It's Friday. We might as well have extra fun. Keep going.
Begin set 3.
Very good. It's for all this time that I didn't see you, ladies. I'm having you do all these planks. A couple months it's been, so I want to make sure I keep you strong and challenged at the same time. Keep going. Exhale as you come up, pushing up, breathing out. And the last set, I'm going to do a couple on one side, a couple on the other to even it out. Keep going. Exhale, squeeze the chest. Beautiful. Hips are nice and aligned, no pain in the shoulder. There's pain, you lift your arms up and you hold it up, keep it there. Then now I'm going to switch legs again. For the final one, I'm going to do a couple of seconds on this side and a couple on the other, okay? And again, keep your core super tight, make sure you breathe, and the breathing is very important so we don't get dizzy, okay? Or we don't get lightheaded there. Good, so again, that one leg comes up, and then we go down, and we come up. Good. And whenever I take a break to kind of loosen up my back, if your back feels good, you just keep going. You push harder. Harder's better, more fun. So ladies, for side planks, you're gonna use a weight, like 3 pounds. 5 pounds is good if you have a good shoulder, not heavier than 5. Now, if you can't do the side planks, you could do a regular plank, or you could do, let's see what else we could do there. We can maybe do a sumo squat, something to just give your shoulders a little break if you need
Some
help.
exercise and
Let's do a couple more on this side. Good, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's switch that. That's awesome. So now, ladies, what we're going to do, I'm actually going to use a 3 for that one. You're going to go on your side. If you have a good shoulder, if you have a sensitive shoulder, do regular plank or a wall sit or a sumo squat, whatever your body feels like doing out, but challenging, okay? Now what we're going to do, we're going to squeeze your tushy, your arm comes up, arm is over the shoulder, then you lower the arm down, and then you lift the arm and the leg. So you lower the leg, not all the way down, but you lower the arm, and then you lift. Good, beautiful. Good job, ladies. Now, if that's too easy, you do both legs straight. You don't have to be lifting the leg when you lift the arm with both legs straight, but when you have the modification, we definitely want to make sure we challenge.
Soft exercise.
Beautiful. Let's do one more. Good. Perfect. Good. Let's switch sides. So now, ladies, when you do this, make sure your thumb is facing your head, okay? Very important because it will keep your shoulders safe again. So we're switching sides, elbow directly underneath that shoulder. We go up. Good. And it's a coordination exercise too. You lift. You lower slowly, and you lift. Squeeze the abs super tight. Shoulders are down. Elbow directly underneath the shoulder. Last 2 sets, I'm going to make it a lot more challenging for you, ladies. Do not worry. Good. Make sure that shoulder feels good. There's no pain in the shoulder. If you feel pain in the shoulder, you just hold the arm up, or you just get rid of the weight, okay? Perfect. Keep going. I know you got it in you.
Stop exercise.
Nice work. Good job, ladies. Very good. Okay. So now let's switch sides again, and then if you want to make this harder, you keep both legs straight. Okay, we're fine for you today. So again, elbow directly underneath that shoulder. You got the arm up. Now you don't have to lift the leg up unless you really want to. Now we're just going for the arm. Squeeze your tissue super tight. Shoulders are down. Breathing. The breathing is so important, ladies. Good. And smiling too. It's important to smile because that means we're having fun. Keep going. Inhale down, exhale squeeze. Your tushy's on fire because when you add a movement to the exercise, your back wants to take over. Don't let it. Keep going. Come on. I know you got it. Woo! Good one. We got those shoulders today, didn't we? It should be nice and sore on the shoulders, ladies. Oh, I feel a breeze coming through. That feels good. By now, we're hopefully nice and tired and hopefully just excited for more. And again, elbow directly underneath the shoulder, arm comes up, tushy squeeze all the way, you go down, you come up, squeeze that tushy. Good. Never giving up, ladies, ever. Good. That's how we get the body stronger, by pushing through that burn. That burn is so important. Then we're going to do a couple stretches. I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a tip of the day for keeping your back healthy, and we're going to be done. Woo, keep going. Almost there. Keep breathing. Elbow directly underneath that shoulder. Squeeze the tushy. Woo! That was amazing, ladies. You did a good job. The shoulders are going to be sore. The hips are going to be sore in a good way. Now let's do our cat and cow. Then I'm gonna show you a quick stretch, tip of the day, and we're gonna be done. So let's do 10 of these. Good, rounding the back. Always good to stretch after a workout, ladies. Again, the cat and cow and the child's pose are one of my favorite ones. Let's do one more. And then again, let's sit back into the heels. Relax your shoulders there. Good, if you felt your back on any of the exercise, this will loosen things up. Beautiful, let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna go into the downward facing dog. We haven't done this one before. So we have hands directly underneath the shoulder. We're just gonna do that stretch really quickly. Good, so you're coming up into almost like a plank, and then you let your tushy go up. Watch your wrists on this, make sure the wrists feel good. You're pushing your heels into the ground, which is a great stretch for the back part of your body, especially your hamstrings and your glutes. You're pushing your heel down into the ground to stretch that calf. Good, nice and slow. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Nice work, ladies. That was a good one. We only do it if the wrists allow us, okay? Sometimes the wrists can get a little tight. If they do, you just do the child's pose or the cat and cow. And also another thing, if let's say you're working, I know a lot of you have been working maybe from home, standing a lot, and then maybe feeling your back a little bit from standing, or just doing the dishes, or just cleaning and having your back being a little sore. If you ever stand in one position and you want to kind of give your back a little break, you put a little stool, not too heavy, right next to you, and then you put one foot on top of it, and then you do your work, or you do your dishes, or whatever. That will kind of loosen up the back a little bit. It's going to take some of the tension away from the back and put it all over the body, okay? So you did amazing. Don't forget to do your cardio, always. Okay, always do the cardio. After our workout, ladies, make sure you get those intervals in where you get your heart rate up. You want to get out of breath. Do it for a minute, and then, or change it up every time you do it. And what else? Continue with the stretching. And thank you so much for joining me, ladies. Miss you. Mwah.